How do you rebuild once you lose everything? Okay, so I've been there. I've been there. I don't want to say I essentially lost everything. I kept my kids, I kept my pets, well, not all of them. I had to rehome my 4 horses when I went through separation and divorce because everybody told me there was no way I was keeping the house. Everybody. And it was during, I was separated right before COVID. Then COVID happened. My divorce took 3 years. All right. 3 years of going back and forth, legal bills, everything adding up. I was living off my family's help. I had to figure out how to come up with the money to pay them back, to pay for everything, like restarting my life, getting, a new career going. I was basically forced out of my business that I had with my real estate. I had 100 properties with my ex. And there was some shady stuff going on for years that I didn't catch on until after I was pulling the paperwork for my divorce and realized that he took me off everything and that I held all the debt. I held over $13 million in debt that he put in my name. And it was all because it was all shady. All the paperwork was shady. And I didn't realize it because at some point over the last 5 years right before I got divorced, it went from both of our names being on all the paperwork to only his. So anyways, that's a whole other thing for another whole video, and I didn't have the money to fight him or, spend a lot more years going back and forth in court. And by the time I did, there would have been absolutely nothing left. So what I did manage to do though was buy the house from him. So the 13,000 square foot home was essentially what I had to start over with. and that was it. So I ended up getting refinanced it under my own name, paying back everybody for their help, and moving on and re-educating myself and taking courses and coaching and trying to figure out now what. And luckily I had years of business experience, and I had sold a successful business prior to the real estate from an online directory that we both built over many years. And we've had other little businesses too, and I've had other little businesses that I ran primarily myself. So I was just like, okay, well, I kind of know what I want to do moving forward, and because I already knew what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to go into art. I knew I wanted to go into media. This was even before we got separated and divorced. It's just I wasn't sure how or when, because I didn't really have a good support system through him. And so I was like, I'm just going to figure it out. And I have, and it's taken time, and that was always the mission. So, it's just making that decision. It's like, where do you want to go? Like, what do you want to do with your life? And traveling was a big one too. And I found a way to do that with my community, with Dream Trips. It's an MLM company I've been a part of for many years that I've helped other people also travel, especially if you're a solo woman traveler. It's a great way to do that because, you have a community to go with. So I think that's important. So you have to know exactly what you want your life, not exactly. You want to know somewhat what you want your life to look and feel like and what your non-negotiables are. So my non-negotiable was, of course, keeping my family safe and protected and keeping a roof over their head, and making sure that if they wanted to remain homeschooled, that they can remain homeschooled. So going back to building online, doing everything online was a big focus, because I knew that, though it was going to be hard, it was maintainable and I could do it because I've done it before.